I'm Michael Buffer here, and let's get ready for FM Boxing Media.
Right, this is Frankie Morgan here from FM Boxing Media, brought to you by the High Protein Company. And today I'm joined by someone that wouldn't normally be on the page. I've done MMA interviews in the past, I've done Misfits interviews in the past, but this seems like it's going to be an MMA crossover with Misfits. Is that right in what I'm saying?
Akonne the Jedi Wanliss is here. Us! And yeah, you're right, man. I've been making some noise out in the misfit scene, in the crossover boxing scene, particularly a couple of names. We'll get into them a little bit later. But yeah, like I think that's why this interview has naturally come along. There could be some exciting opportunities, exciting matchups within the future.
One thing I have just found out literally all of 5 minutes ago is you've actually watched me fight before.
I've watched you fight before?
Apparently so. This is the message that I've just been sent. I've fought one of your good friends in Jason Carl in the past.
Oh, wow. Oh, you're the one that fought him.
Yeah, I
Nah,
fought
all
him
right, this interview's over. This interview's wrap. It's a wrap. Cut the interview. Nah, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Yeah, I just
No
messaged
way.
him. I said, obviously, I've seen you always together. What was the link? And he said you danced together. And then he said, oh, he actually watched our fight before.
Oh, no way. Yeah. Oh, cool, man. How did it go? I can't remember. Did you beat him or did he beat
Yeah,
you?
that was his last fight. He lost that one, but we had a bit of back and forth before. But now I've said if he
Ah,
wants training, if he wants to come along sparring, anything, he's always welcome. He's a good man, Jason.
in your core?
No, it was in Colchester.
Oh, in Colchester. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a good man. He's good stuff, Jason.
Yeah, he's a good dude, man. I like Jason. He's tried his hand at boxing as well, and I think it's great, man. That he goes out there and try different things. And I can't remember you guys fight. Maybe I've got CTE, but I'm like,
But yeah, one thing that you do definitely know how to do is fight, whether that's in a cage, whether that's in a ring. I've seen the clips. Now, obviously, watching MMA clips, you can't tell how good someone is at pure boxing, but you can tell that you've got the power, you've got the strength, you've got the speed to go in the boxing ring. And would you say that was your main part of your game when you was in MMA?
well, yeah, in MMA, that definitely my speed, my tenacity, even my IQ. And obviously, it doesn't seem like I had IQ just right now. I can't remember what boxing match I went to watch. But when you watch thousands, it's quite hard to keep on everyone. But yeah, I definitely feel like my striking, my ability to generate power in such short spaces and use my long leverage, my long limbs. I'm just a dangerous stand-up guy. Like, obviously, add in I've got some good submissions as well on my record, but yeah, the striking Paris, it's definitely a dangerous weapon for anyone who steps across me in a cage or a boxing ring.
Yeah, because one thing I have seen is many highlight reels, and when you look at the highlight reels, you've got that little bit of a dance about you as well. You've got that little MVP sort of style about you where you don't mind showing up a little bit in the cage.
Yeah, man. Shout out to MVP. I actually used to train with him way back in the day, man. And I remember being inspired by him. In fact, I started kickboxing like and I used to do some kickboxing back when I was like 14, 15, I believe. And MVP was mad on the circuits. And he used to do some like crazy spinning kicks and stuff. So I used to literally sit down, watch him and study him. And then it's crazy to see how that kind of went full circle. I ended up training with him down at London Shoot Fighters the first time when I became an amateur. And then just seeing his career progress and then just obviously seeing him multiple times, you just think like, wow, such a small world. But yeah, shout out to MVP, man.
Yeah, you've trained alongside some of the best. One of the most obvious ones is Leon Edwards now. You can't
Mm.
do an interview with you without talking about one of arguably the best to come out of England to ever do MMA, let alone get to the UFC and become a champion with arguably the most influential shot of all time, especially after he's saying headshot dead. But
Yeah,
how,
yeah,
how
yeah.
important were them rounds for you to learn where you are yourself as well?
Hey, listen, there's no doubt. There's no doubt in my head. And, there's what Leon said, the classic line, doubt me now. I feel like we we all have carry that confidence because of the work that we put in. Do you know what I mean? And being able to spar with these guys that are literally the best in the world, iron sharpens iron. You're not going to get that look anywhere else other than having world-class competition elsewhere around you. So if you can get that in your gym, having that coach, someone like that coach you, it trickles down to everyone. Even the amateurs in my gym are just elite, So yeah, it's definitely something that is beneficial. And
Yeah.
I think I'm buzzing by it all the time. I actually moved from Wolverhampton to not that far, but I moved from Wolverhampton to Birmingham just to train with him. So yeah, it was all by design.
Yeah, Wolverhampton is it's one of them places and Birmingham where it says, why have you become a fighter? Like that's the question everyone seems to ask. But in that sort of area, it seems like a lot of people do want to be fighters. It's like people have to fight to get to where they want in these sort of areas, ain't it?
Yeah. Because let's just say Wolverhampton's not the most prettiest place. And where I used to live, it's you call it the mud, right? So you've got nothing else. You've either got to be good at football, good at a sport, good at MMA, or you to try and find yourself out of it, or you just end up working a normal job. And there's nothing wrong with working a normal job, but sometimes them opportunities you can't even see them. People either end up on the street or get focused and focus on a sport and find direction in their life. And that's what MMA gave me at the start, like in my youth, really, when if things were to go left, like fighting gave me that, where I was drinking a lot, chasing girls, as we always do, pretty boy, and almost could have lost your life to that. Before you know it, you're like 30 and you're like, damn, all I've got is a bunch of ladies' numbers, you know what I mean? And a bunch of debt. But then you can end up being a fighter and do the exact same. Just with a couple of titles.
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to touch on is the titles. Now, in your bio, it says two-time champion, MMA champion. Now, in boxing, if someone says to me, I'm a two-time world champion, I know they've won a WBA, a WBC, they've won an IBF, they've won this, or in the Misfits world, you're a Misfits world champion. But in MMA, I've never claimed to be the hardcore MMA fan. So when you say you're a two-time world champion, what world championships have you won in MMA?
Yeah, so I won the golden ticket world title and the LFL world title. So they're the two world titles that I have. And then I've got like a bunch of other ones. European title for Fight Star. That was my amateur one. They're my two pro titles. Then in kickboxing, I've got like Celtic, 2 English titles. So I got quite a few titles. I should have actually bought them out. Put them behind me.
When Misfits first started, it was a laughing stock, weren't it? Let's be completely honest. I hope Misfits don't mind me saying this, but it was KSI fighting 2 people on one night. It was even now you still get 2 big fat blokes getting in, having a scrap, but it's becoming a lot more serious by the week. You can see that in some of the fights that are being made, including the one that you've called for, the winner of Joe Laws and Harley Benn. You've obviously gone more at Harley Benn, but when you see that it's getting that bit more serious compared to what it was, how does that make you feel about this? The door opening for me now.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So obviously we all know about the shows that was there was what was the show's called? It was called what's that show called that you fought on? Kingpin. Yeah, Kingpin. So my first look into influence and boxing was this show called Kingpin. And they went ham with the budget and all that sort of stuff. And the type of fighters that were fighting on there, it was quite cool, right? To see all these massive YouTubers come together, create such a big promotion, and then a massive spectacle. And that's kind of something where I looked at with MMA, with outside of the UFC, really, I'm looking at all these other promotions and thinking, even in boxing, I'm seeing it missing, except for like the top big Tyson Furies and all that sort of stuff. I'm seeing it missing. So to be able to see that at such a basic level with boxing and have such a big spectacle, it really interested in me. And then obviously I saw Jake Paul, I saw the KSIs, and then I started to see people like Kiefer Crosby fight on the second show, and they're getting paid, they're getting like good amount of money. Then you see Anthony Taylor crossing over from me and him fought on the same show before, and he's crossing over to there having good success, good entertainment. And I feel like I suit an environment like that. Every time I go to my fights or I'm performing, let's say, or fighting, I am performing. I am trying to put on a spectacle. I am trying to entertain. I'm trying to make these videos that generate interest and almost portray a character, which is, it's not really a character, but it's something that used to promote and to entertain a crowd. And that's why I really love the aspect of, and I'm very excited about possibly fighting in influencer boxing, because it's all about that. It's all about the promotion. It's all about how crazy can you make you walk out. It's all about how crazy can you make the interview? How crazy can you make the press conference? And that excites me.
Yeah, because it's gone from major crazy walkouts and KSI in a Lamborghini, but then it got more serious. I'd say around this time last year when you have the likes of Darren Till fighting Darren Stewart. Now, I was in
Oh
Darren
yeah.
Stewart's changing room that night, and I was with Darren the whole fight night and the whole fight week, and I'm looking at it thinking this is meant to be misfits. You're too serious for this. But then I'm thinking you're opposite the ring to Darren Till. You have to be serious with this, and it's mad the step up in levels that Misfits has gone to. But do you think that is why you're looking at it now, thinking Misfits could be me? You've done as much as you can in MMA, maybe, but now you're thinking Misfits has money and it also has a serious tone to it as well.
Like the serious tone part, like I'm not really bothered about that. Like the, like say as serious as normal boxing, let's say, then I would just do normal boxing. But I'm more interested in Misfits from the entertainment side of things, from what they can bring as in terms of put on a stage, like the stage that they bring where they actually, I see it in MVP as well. Like, that the Jake Paul's promotion, how they really care about promotion. They really care about building stars or building storylines. And that's what excites me about Misfits. You know what I mean? So I hope they don't lose that. I hope they don't get too serious and feel like, oh, we're throwing all that away and it just becomes like traditional boxing. I want it to be exciting. I want it to be like have your clown fights, as this sort to say, you boxing only with body shots only with big stacks, so like maybe a bit more entertaining than that. But I went to the last event and I had a whale of a time, and I had Darren Till behind me shouting, "You're crazy shit house." What's his name?
Tommy Fury.
Tommy Fury, yeah. And I love all that. So just to be involved, I feel like I am that type of character. I will be making a lot of noise. I will be maybe pulling a lot of pranks. I will be streaming it. I will be doing all those things. So I think like a crossover boxing, a Misfits boxing style suits me if I was to go into boxing. And that's why I'm so interested in it.
Yeah, because when I look at the fights that you're calling for Harley, Benn, and I looked at that video when you called him out, and I'm thinking, where's this man's budget come from? Because it's like a Steven Spielberg movie put into a 1 minute clip. But I've even admitted in the Harley Benn interview, I weren't 100% sure who you was before. I'd seen clips on TikTok, but where I'm
Yeah.
not a massive MMA fan, I thought, who is this calling him out? And all of a sudden, I'm looking through, and I'm thinking, this is a serious fighter. Like he's
Yeah.
not just coming to play, but the budget for that video, where is that budget even coming from?
Hey, listen, the fact that it even works, the fact that you're now talking or you're thinking about, oh, where's this guy coming from? Imagine everyone else is going to be thinking that too, So like that's great. That's great to hear. But where's the budget come from? Hey, listen, I just knuckle down, and sometimes it's a one-man band, it's a two-man band, and we just get it done. You know what I mean? It's if anyone wants any promo videos done for their fighting, hit me up. Let's go. I might charge you an arm and a leg, but I'll make you a Steven Spielberg promo, and everybody will talking about your fight. Everybody will be talking about your fight. Let's go.
Yeah, because it got the attention of everyone. I was getting it sent to me by people that I don't even know that are probably from your area. I counted it up just now. I got
Yeah,
17 messages saying you have to interview this man after my Harley Benn
mad,
interview. Now,
mad.
to have, I don't know if you call them a fan base or to have people that are interested in you fighting, all messaging me privately. Now, I've interviewed some of the top level boxers, and I've not ever had that many messages to say, please interview this person. So how does that feel?
Jeez. Aye, that's a compliment and a half, dude. That is a compliment and a half. And I feel like I don't even have a big community. I feel like yeah, you got lots of followers and I got a bunch of followers and stuff like that. But to say that you're getting like 17 messages from different people to say interview me, that man, I feel honored. So shout out to my community. You guys are, the Jedi squad. Us. Yeah, I appreciate you so much. That's my message to you guys.
Yeah, because I posted the interview and I started getting message requests, and I'm thinking, oh no, what have I done? Like, what have I posted here?
Uh,
Every single one of them are just saying interview, interview, interview. And I interviewed Harley because Harley's gym is all of 5 minutes away from me. I've known
yeah,
Harley for a long time. I see that call out. I thought, right, this is it. We've got to get this interview out there. But
perfect. Yeah.
in that interview, I said, you got told he's coming to your gym with the contract. Now,
Hmm.
Hardy said he's not seen you. His gym's open to the public. He's not seen you. Where's the contract? Is there a reason that you didn't go down to the gym, or are you waiting for this fight to be over, or are you waiting for a perfect opportunity? What's the reason behind it?
The instructions were very clear. I said to him, send me location. He did not once send me a location. So he wants me to what? Google and research where he is? Bro, I said, send me location. And he didn't send me one. But then his fight got announced. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I'll be there. That's my location now. So I will be there, cage side at the fight, uh, watching. And yo, let's get it popping. Let's get me inside the ring. I think that would be a nice, exciting fight. And look out for my YouTube, look out for my socials, because I'll be making another video being released around about his fight week, just to make things more exciting, you know. So
What I
I'd
highly
actually love to fight in the same time in that card as well.
oh, what? So
I know he's
you jump on now if there was a slot available.
if there was a slot available, I'll be jumping on that card right now. I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense to have me fight, have him fight. There's many other people. Like, I feel like, hold on, maybe you can tell me more. But the division that I normally fight at, you know, it's 155. It's close to, what is that in boxing? Is that 154 or
Yeah,
165 or something like that?
Yeah. I'd say 154 would probably be your weight.
Who even fights in that in Misfits?
I'll be completely honest. I'm normally pure boxing. I go to the odd Misfits
Right,
event here and there, but I think other than Hardy, Benn, and Joe Laws, you've got Elvis, who Hardy wanted to fight before. That weren't on Misfits though. That was more of a pro bat. So I'm
right,
not 100% sure who's in the weight.
right. All right. Fuck it. KSI. Let's do it. Me versus KSI. Bad enough of him. I'm coming for him. Once I'm done with Harley Benn, it's KSI time.
Yeah, why was it Harley Benn of all people? Is there any sort of connection, or was it just you thinking this is a man that could be in my way and he's a good route in? Nigel Benn's son, obviously the name's there, or was there anything personal going on?
So basically, I made a post that I wanted to fight on Misfits. And then there was a couple of like, there was a Misfits post that came out, and I started like commenting on it, saying, you know, I think they were looking for fighters on the Big Stacks' undercard, because that's kind of how he's put it as, right? And so I'm like, yo, I want to fight on this card. No worries. And then we got to go back and forth. I went back and forth with what's his name? This guy called, I can't remember his names. But anyway, me and Harley Benn started getting at it. And then he was like, oh, I started to research him, and I was like, oh, he's Conor Benn's brother. I was like, that's perfect. You know, he's got the name. He boxes. I feel like skill wise, me and him would be a good fight. But I feel like I'll put it out there. I feel like I would knock him out. Give me 4 rounds, I'm knocking him out. My power would be too much. I see some holes in his game, but I do wish him the best against Joe Laws. I think he's a beatable fight for Harley Benn. It's probably going to be a tough fight, but I'm going to be there ringside and I actually have a look at this and look it from the serious side, study it. But I feel like from a promotional side, me versus Harley Benn would just be absolute fireworks. So I feel like that would be a great first fight.
Are you looking at it as a way of you want Harley Benn no matter the result, or are you looking at it in a way that if Joe Laws goes out and beats Harley Benn, that Joe Laws is then your step up, and Joe Laws is the man that you have to beat to then get your way in?
100%. Like, you know, whatever makes sense, really, because I checked out Joe Law's stuff. Like, he does do his content, but you know, I'm after for someone who can promote, and even I don't know. They're both a little bit slacking with the promotion side of things, I believe, maybe. But you know, whoever makes sense, whoever makes noise, I think like Misfits can change, or boxing in general can change very fast overnight. Like somebody like myself can just pop out of the woodwork out of nowhere, you know, and before you know it, everyone's like excited about having this fight. So honestly, whatever the fans kind of want, if the fans want me to fight Joe Laws, then yeah, like that would be. I'm not turning him down. If fans want to fight Harley Benn, which I'm more excited to fight Harley Benn because of the name he brings, and because of the back and forth we've already had, then I think either both of them are great matchups. But hey, man, if KSI, who's that big dude? What's his name? Eddie Hall. Eddie Hall wants to have a little scrap. You know what I mean? I see misfits like that. I see misfits as like go in, make some crazy fights, make some crazy numbers, and just entertain. You know what I mean? With some real skill that I can bring. You know, I've got that pedigree. I've got that sorted out. You know, I can fight. I know I can put on a good show. So I feel like me and Misfits would make a great fit.
Yeah, if you look at the amount of fights you've had compared to Harley, compared to Joe, you're actually the most experienced all-round fighter of all of them. Joe Laws did have a very good amateur pedigree as a boxer as well, but actual fights, you've had the most fights out of everyone, but the least in boxing now. Do you think having the most fights would play more of a part, or do you think having the least fights in boxing would play more of a part in a fight like that?
This is the first thing I noticed about what Harley Benn said to me. He was like, "Oh, yeah, he looks like a good fighter, but I've never seen him box." And I feel like as a mistake, what boxers make is they go, "All right, just because he's never boxed before, he's going to lack that skill." Yes, don't get me wrong. It is almost a complete different sport. You know, you're taking away a lot of my weapons, which I normally would use. But fighting is still fighting. And there's the aspect of it, the experience of actually fighting, you cannot replace. So yeah, because I've got more bouts, that might make me more comfortable. It might make me more comfortable in moments where we have to scrap, and might give me more intelligence. So yeah, like I probably might be looked at in his eyes as a disadvantage because I'll be my pro debut, but my boxing debut, sorry. But I think that's exciting, you know, to do something fresh, do something new, and also from the fans' aspect, they might be thinking, "Yo, can this dude even box? He can knock people out, but can he even box?" And them questions, that's what sells a fight, man.
Yeah, when you watch Harley's promotion for this fight, the main talking point of the promotion was an interview that he done with IFL. He actually grappled Joe Laws to the floor, got him in a headlock, and
Oh yeah,
he seemed to actually get the better of him in that exchange. I hope Joe Laws don't mind me saying that, but he actually seemed to have a little bit of grappling about him. So would there be any way possible that you could have maybe a two-fight series between him, one in the cage, one in the boxing ring?
hey, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do that. I've actually been looking at something to do that myself for my own channels, where more on like a not so serious thing where it's like a game, like MMA games, or one boxing round, one MMA round, da 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 da. But yeah, like a 2-fight series on Misfits. I think that's something they want to push anyway. They do want to, you know, they're doing it with Dylan Dennis, the Dylan Dennis doing boxing, and now, you know, he's the only MMA champion out there. That, you know, I think he's fighting Eddie Hall next in MMA, if I'm correct on that.
I'll never know what's going on with Misfits. It's here, there, and everywhere with the MMA
fight. Yeah. So I know that's something they want to do. So, you know, if I was on Misfits, I'd be a very exciting addition to the roster, because I can do boxing and MMA, you know, and I'm not afraid to do boxing and MMA. These boxers are afraid to do boxing and MMA, you know. So if he's like, you know, if he's got the cojones to do it, then let's do it. Let's run a 2-fight series.
Why do you think that is such a thing? Because there's a few boxers that have gone over to MMA. There's actually been a couple that went into the UFC, but there's not as many boxers gone to MMA as MMA fighters gone to boxing now. A lot of people say the clear and obvious thing that the money has always been in boxing instead of MMA. But do you think there's any other reason why people have gone mainly from MMA to boxing instead of boxing to MMA?
Well, it's the skill difference. So like, there's so much to learn in MMA that if you come over with just boxing, you're don't mind my French, but you're fucked. You're literally fucked. Like the way that they grappled, for instance, that exchange, I already looked and I was like, man, all right, this is like, my amateurs would actually just wipe the floor with them, do you know? But I think that's the technicality of it. So if I was to, you know, start playing football, and I was a footballer, and then all of a sudden I'm going to play basketball. Yeah, theoretically they're the same things, but you know, I don't have the same skill, so they ain't going to be able to take the leg kicks. They ain't going to be able to take elbows. Then furthermore, they're not going to be able to grapple. understand how grappling works. You know, you see Dylan Dallas go in there and just absolutely maul everybody he does when he does grappling. But his boxing is like I feel like my 3-year-old niece could box better than Dylan Dallas. You know, so but somehow he manages to win these fights. I have no clue. But hey, if he, like I said, if he's got the cojones, I think it'll be exciting to do a MMA and a boxing thing. Even something like this, Misfits might even like this proposal. How about you do 1 round boxing, 1 round MMA? Just keep switching it like that. Ding, ding, ding.
I can't think of many better ideas, to be fair.
Yeah.
Especially for a crossover fighter.
You know what I mean? 1 round boxing, 1 round MMA. How would you do the gloves though? Just do boxing in small gloves.
Or maybe, but what are the gloves that were on Joe Rogan before, the MMA ones that curve the hand?
Yeah. So you spar in MMA gloves. So they got a bit of boxing, like 7-8 ounces they are. Yeah, so you could do it with them and then still be able to grapple because you got your hands free.
Now, one thing you're obviously offering Misfits, all different types of fights, all different ways of fighting. Let's not put this past you at all. You could maybe be the first ever mixed gender tag team partnership on Misfits. There's an odd chance of it now. You've had your MMA fights. Your partner's been on Misfits, been on these big shows, and been on all different shows now. What are the chances that we could maybe see one man stood in the corner, one man stood in the other corner? Every now and then you swap around, and there's a woman in the ring, and like that. Just in between, you got a round of the women, round of the men, and then you point score off the couples. Could there be a chance of that?
Hey, who's got a partner that fights? Who's got a partner that fights? There's got to be someone out there, isn't it? You know what I mean? So yeah, let's run it up. Like you know, Daniela, she definitely wants to get back in there, and I feel like herself, she suits so well with the influence of boxing. You know, she knows how to promote. And she knows how to put on a great fight, and people want to watch her. You know, I feel like she could possibly sell this whole fucking arena out herself the next time she boxes. So everyone will be very excited to watch her fight and win. Yeah, you know, I'm not sure win, but yeah, if there was a duo tag team sort of vibe, I feel I would be 100% down for that. You know, we both obviously trained together, and we would make a great partnership in the ring or cage if it was like you know, I'm just thinking of so many ideas that Misfits could do. So run it up, Misfits. Hey, Mams, get it popping. Get it popping if you want to see some tag team. You know, you want to see the Jedi inside the ring. I know I want that too. Even if Harley Benz or Joe Law's not in the picture, we got many fighters that want to fight me. My DMs, my phone has been going absolutely freaking crazy myself when I announced myself to fight on Misfits. You know, everyone, every cat and dog, people I never heard of just came out of the woodwork going, yeah, I'll fight you. I'm like, make a video then. Make something, make me want to fight you. You know, so
that's one thing I can definitely back you up on. It has got people talking. If Mams is watching this, if he somehow stumbles across this video, I can promise you now that he has got people talking. The DMs have even been coming to me. It's mental, the amount of publicity off. I think it was 2 videos you done in the end, weren't it?
Yeah, just two videos. Now imagine we make it official. Bruh, imagine we make it official. Mams, send the contract.
Now I'm going to give you 2 scenarios here, and I want to know what you would go with if there's these 2 scenarios. So let's say you get one phone call off Mams. He's offering you this. Let's just put out a number. Let's say he's offering you £100,000 for 3 fights. And he says you can come in, you got £100,000, you get to choose your 3 fights, and then the third one's going to be a proper 50-50 fight, and you go for the title. But then you get a phone call off Dana, and he says, listen, you've got, let's say, 50 grand, half the money, but you're going to be in the UFC. Where would you go in? Because I know your dream is to fight in the UFC. So where would you go at that
point? Oh, that's a good question. That is a good question. Woo! Holy shit. You know what? Quite naturally, as an MMA fighter, I would answer the phone to Dana. I would pick the phone to both of them and I'd say, hey, listen. I'd start having this multi-conversation and saying, brother, let me do both. How about a scrappier and then build up? You know, there's nothing better than for an MMA fighter than having a promotion like UFC back here. You know, even if you're in there and you do absolutely shit, not putting any not saying anyone who's done that, but even if you go in there and do absolutely shit, you get a bigger name. You know, so from just that side of things, even on Misfits, though, to be honest, you do well in there, you get the free fights, you get a big name too. But as an MMA fighter, that's as a boxer, yeah. As an MMA fighter, there's nothing bigger than the UFC currently. So
That's probably worth half the value to get in the UFC, would you say?
yeah. Because obviously, mate, I've been doing this for a decade, yeah. Right. So if UFC gives me a call tomorrow, then fuck it, I'm gonna have to answer, right? But I ain't forgetting about Misfits or the boxing. Trust me, I'm not. I can do it all.
Yeah, because when it comes to
just not power slap. Fuck that. That's some mad shit, bro.
yeah, I think power slap's the one thing that I've always said I don't like MMA for the leg kicks and all that. I wouldn't mind having a little grapple here and there, but the leg kicks, the snapped arms, all that, I'm too squeamish for that. I don't mind having a boxing match, getting punched in the face and the ribs, but the leg kicks and all that, I think they're a completely different level of sport to boxing. But when you've got the likes of misfits that could be knocking, but then you've obviously done the better tours, you fought at the top level of MMA. Is all of them little things that you've done over the years adding up to this one final chapter for you, or are you trying to go into Misfits, make a bigger name, and then approach maybe Bellator, Cage Warriors, one of these sort of people again?
Yeah, I mean the way it is, especially with my career, um, I'm a free agent right now, so the possibilities are like endless. So I'm really exercising those possibilities. I'm like, yo, can we get something popping here? Can we get something rolling on Misfits? You know, like still actively looking around for MMA fights too. You know, nothing that I can announce. If anything is signed and stuff, then I will be out announcing. But hey, in this period of time where I've got nothing signed, then I feel like I like, especially, you know, we're talking about boxing here, and it's specifically about Misfits. I feel like I'm a very exciting prospect to snatch up whoever. If you're a promoter of boxing, if you're a promoter of MMA, offer snap. If I was in your shoes, snap before you lose out. You know what I mean? So yeah, on my side of things, it's an exciting time, an exciting place to be. I'm trying to get active. I'm trying to get something exciting, get something popping and get fighting. You know?
Yeah, now we've got 5 minutes to try and wrap this interview up. So now I want to
Yeah,
go into general boxing, general conversations with you. But
yeah.
number one topic of conversation in boxing right now, as someone who's coming into boxing, you must have an opinion. Joshua Fury could be fighting in America, should be fighting in England. What's your opinion on that fight? Maybe going to America for the British fans.
Ah, I think it should be in England, man. Like it's two British guys. Two British guys. I know, obviously, they're talking about the cell, like the gate, or the amount of people that they can get into these arenas, or America's just so huge, right? So I get that, and maybe the promotion or the pay-per-views, people in America buy pay-per-views more than England. So I understand it's a money game, yeah, and they want to make the most money. They'll probably go to Saudi and make even more money, right? So I get that, but for the pure, like, for the pureness of it, the fact that you got the two British kings, let's say, that people put off boxing, the two British kings scrapping, it should be in England, because I want to see it in England and in British time. I don't want to be watching it at 5 a.m. in the morning. I want to watch it. I want to watch it at a good time, and I actually want to go to the event, man. It would be so cool. I don't want to have to fly to America or fly to Saudi to go watch this fight. That's just my opinion. Maybe I'm being selfish, but they're probably thinking about their own pockets. Maybe they're thinking selfish, you know? But I say England. I vote for England.
And if you're talking about things being on your doorstep, wanting to go there, you haven't got a much better opportunity to watch greatness on your doorstep than October 3rd, Ben Whitaker in Birmingham, back home. You're looking forward to seeing one of the homeboys come back into Birmingham and headline where he's meant to be headlining.
Hey, yo, listen, Ben Whitaker is a G, man. He's an absolute G. His coach used to train me, and I've met him a few times as well. So before he had that spectacular people watching him, and he got posted everywhere, and he was just dodging and weaving and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I think he's an absolute G, Ben Whittaker, man. Shout out to him. And yo, bro, if my Diary Alliance, I will be there.
And one final question for all the 17 people that message me, for all the 40 odd thousand people that follow you. If you was to sign off with one final message, this can be to Harley, Benn, it can be to Joe Laws, it could be to your followers. What would that final message be to get people talking about you getting into Misfits?
Hey, listen, everybody that has been excited to see me in Misfits, I see all your work and I appreciate every single one of you. But let's not let off yet. The deal is not signed. Let's start tagging mams. Let's start tagging Misfits. Hey, the Jedi is coming. Let's go! Jeez!
Getting a much better sign off than that. I want to say,
may the force be with you.
Thank you very much for your time. It was good to finally have you on the channel. I've been getting messages left, right, and centre. So hopefully my phone can actually go on Do Not Disturb and stay on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, they'll be asking for another interview soon.
Yeah, definitely. If you're at the Benn Whittaker fight, I'm there. We can meet up again, do an in-person one.
Yeah, dope, man. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. Hey, Frankie, it's been a pleasure, mate. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to hopefully seeing you and Harley Ben get it on one day soon.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Take care, bro. Respect.